99.3 Nigeria Info. Welcome to Balogun Abroad. We want to talk about the IMF report on Nigeria. Yes, unfortunately, my guest is in transit and has no connection, so cannot join us. So you and I are going to have this conversation, okay? So when the International Monetary Fund, IMF, speaks, the world actually listens because of who they are. And this time, it's Nigeria that's on the spotlight, as always. And the IMF has once again painted a troubling picture that poverty is deepening, insecurity is stalling growth, and economic reforms, while necessary, are hitting the poorest and the hardest. As Nigerians grapple with skyrocketing food prices, joblessness, and worsening insecurity, the big question is, are we moving forward or falling deeper into crisis? Today, on the Big Hat Facts, we unpack the IMF's latest report and what it really means for the ordinary Nigerians. This is something that the federal government really, the presidency, I meant to say, had, spoken against. In fact, they lashed out at the IMF, saying that the tone of their message, or the messaging in that report, was to incite Nigerians against its government. But let us look at the key implications and the key facts of that IMF report. From 2024, they had a mid-year update, and they said over 70% of Nigerians live below poverty line, and they are vulnerable to falling below it. They talked about inflation, which remains extremely high, saying food inflation has hovered around 40% in many states. They also highlighted the issue of insecurity, banditry, terrorism, farmer-header conflicts, which has continued to disrupt agriculture and discourage investment. The IMF also acknowledged the fuel subsidy removal and exchange rates reforms, but noted that the reforms are worsening short-term hardship. I remember when I was telling you of that report last week, I said, as much as they're saying some of these policies might be great, they also pointed that in the interim, it's not reflecting in the growth and the prosperity of the people, because the people are getting poorer. The IMF also talked about Nigeria's debt servicing to revenue ratio, which is still above 80%, meaning that most of what we earn goes to paying debt. For example, once I get my salary, pay, I have nothing left in my account. There's barely any savings anymore these days because you live from paycheck to paycheck. The IMF advised Nigerian government to scale up targeted social protection and to improve governance to reduce leakages. We're going to come to that. Because one of the things that we're talking about today, or one of the reasons behind the perceived annoyance, I don't want to say hatred, at the Buhari administration and the Tinubu administration, is the fact that people feel that there's so many leakages, there's so much room for corruption. Governments continue to tell us to tighten our belts while they live large. And I mean, for example, look at what happened at the Katsina airport, the Shehu Musa Yaradua airport in Katsina yesterday. Every governor, senator, politician flew in on a private jet. Let's forget about the ones who are not holding power. Let's leave Atiku. Let's talk about all the governors. Zamfara governor flew in on a private jet. And several other people. Private jets. The Senate president. All of them in private jets. Who's paying for those private jets for every time they fly? Someone was giving me an estimated amount of money that you pay for a tiny private jet to fly from Abuja to Calabar. And that someone used to, that Better I Do used to fly, and this is from someone who runs this private chopper and jet services, would fly to Calabar from Abuja, and he gave an estimate of between $10,000 to I heard dollars and my ear just alarm bells. You can imagine how much money the private jet services made yesterday from all of it. Was a competition of whose private jet was going to land. Dangote is a private businessman. He can fly his private jet. That's fine. These politicians, who's paying for these private jets? That's one thing. You're telling us that you want to fight corruption in one breath. I mean, what's wrong with flying a normal, commercial flight? You're flying within the country. What's the big issue? I've seen Alex Oti many times on a commercial flight. He flies business class. That's fine because he's a governor. Why do we need all of these private jets? That's one. How do we plug these leakages? Because IMF has said we need to expand our safety net, social safety net, to also flag weak governance. I mean, I know that people are going to come after me and say, "Oh, there's no weak governance. The governance is a continuum. This government is doing well," but there is corruption that is rife. There's some source of jaye excessiveness in the air, and that's why the governors can be so brazen and the senators. How much of government money will go into those private jets? Travels. So everywhere they go, they fly private jets. They want to go and visit somebody that died, they fly private. On whose account? And I'm just using that as one of the examples. So how do we ensure that interventions like cash transfer or food programs actually reach the vulnerable? Because they came up with that, and I'm one of those people who's not an advocate for cash transfer and the Babianla welfareism approach of the Buhari administration, which has also found its way into the Tinubu administration, where everyone they'd say, "Oh, we're giving 5,000 naira to the poor." How can you tell who the poorest of the poor is? And who's to say that these monies really get to the people who they intended for these monies to get into? That's why we still have Betta Edu and Sadia Ahmed on trial, even though the EFCC is telling us that the matter is still ongoing. I don't know how many years that's going to go. But how do the people who have been shortchanged, overlooked, get justice in the interim? How do we stop the poor from getting poorer and the rich from getting richer? Don't forget, the taxes are continuously on a high. They keep taxing us day in, day out. They're increasing the taxes. Have you bought something in a restaurant or a place, and have you seen the VAT? Have you seen the breakdown? These are all of the things that we need to concern ourselves with. And don't forget, at the back of your mind, still hold it, that Femi Fashua has accused the IMF of trying, the same IMF that they'd go to take loans and say they want to do projects that's going to help us, to develop us. But then when IMF criticizes how the monies are being used, they say the IMF is trying to turn the people against them. Given all of this, the insecurity, inflation, which is double digit, an all-time high, the debts that we have, don't forget we keep servicing those debts. What would be Nigeria's outlook in the next 12 to 18 months? Because I'm wondering, is there really a clear picture to stability and recovery? And I want you to critically look at I know that Nigerian Info feeds you a lot of information about the economy and all of the processes that government is involved in. Can you beat your chest and say that you're certain that we're on a path to recovery and that the stability is almost in our grip or grasp? Can we grasp? My English is failing me today. But is it possible that stability and the plugging of loopholes and an economic recovery is on the radar? I want us to talk. Unfortunately, my guest can't join us. He's in England, but I think that where he is, he's unable to connect with us, and he's in transit. So you and I are going to have a chit chat today on Balogun Abroad. And I'm looking at it from the perspective of the average Nigerian who's a market person in Balogun. I'm looking at the guy who's helping you to carry load in Balogun. The man who is a petty trader. Excuse me. The kiosk owner by the junction to your house. The vulcanizer. I'm looking at the mechanic. I'm looking at every small business person. Of course, I'm looking at that small business that employs 5 to 6 people. There's so many economic reforms that we hear, they're peddled. When it comes to reality, is it really workable? Don't forget that the Tinubu administration has no economic advisor. We're yet to see their economic plan and network or blueprint, rather. All we hear about is they're taking a loan to do this, they're taking a loan to do that. They just received another $747 for the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway that we heard at first was going to be a PPP construction. We were told that we didn't need to bother ourselves, but now government is taking a loan for that road. The explanations need to be given. The cash transfer that they keep saying, oh, that we're trying to help the poorest of the poor, this are the thing. I've seen one GMT group on TVC and channels running an advert and talking about how the president has done this in education, in healthcare, and in rural and urban development. What's the proof? Why is it not reflective? And that's what IMF is saying. How are you dealing with insecurity? Because that's what is affecting the food baskets of the nation. Buhari told us that there was a rice pyramid. We shouldn't worry about it. They took pictures. There was a whole PR stunt. Where's the rice? He shut the borders. Here we are in 2025. Almost the same similar problems. Is there a solution at hand? Can we say the stability is coming anytime soon? How optimistic are you? And if you run a big business like Nigeria Info, where you have so many staff, you have to pay salaries, you have to pay taxes, you have to pay pensions. How market? We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us. It's still Balogun Abroad on Hard Facts 99.3 Nigeria Info.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
There is something about good news. You can't keep it to yourself.
Guys, it has finally happened.
There is something about joy. You can't keep it to yourself. And there is something about the rich taste of Lipton. You can't keep it to yourself.
When you get something you enjoy, you share. Lipton Yellow Label. Tea so good, you want to share.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
Success is like an aeroplane. You only see the graceful flight high up in the sky, but not the roaring powerful engines propelling it. Likewise, in the world of e-payments, you only see transactions done, funds remitted. But who pioneered these financial technology solutions? Well, you knew it as Value Card, now Unified Payments, Nigeria's premier financial technology service provider. Yes, it starts here. Find out more at www.up-ng.com. Unified Payments, unifying businesses for people.
See, everybody with him own wahala. Every day comes with its own version of challenges, and you have to be ready to face them, because only then can you move on to the next. That's why I never miss my breakfast. Scratch that! My peak breakfast, with the nutrients and energy I need to face each day, one challenge at a time.
Every day is a good day to power on with a peak breakfast. Have you had yours?
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Auntie, you are enjoying, oh, only you. Peppered rice, amala, nkwobi, masa, cake, and now ice cream. I hope you have Justifies on you.
Justifies? I never leave home without it.
That's right, Justifies, the new natural effervescent powder for an instant refreshing relief from heartburn and stomach indigestion. Just add Justifies into a cup of water, drink, and you're good to go. Justifies, your relief on the go. Justifies is from the House of Justide. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Made and marketed by Ranbaxy Nigeria Limited, a Sun Pharma company.
In the kitchen game, there are players and then Agba Ballers, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Agba Baller with a new improved Maggi chicken flavor, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric to bring out your top game in the kitchen. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
All right, class, settle down. Today, let's talk about how you started your day.
We got dressed and had pancakes with John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate for breakfast.
My mom makes John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate for us too.
My mom calls it instant goodness. My sister and I always put it inside our pap. It's so yummy.
John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate is a chocolate drink made of rich cocoa, milk, and sugar. Available nationwide in stores. John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate. Enjoy instant goodness.
Help build strong bones with Vitabiotics Osteocare from the UK. The supplement that's not just calcium, but also contains scientific cofactors better absorption into the bones. Nourish your bones, teeth, and muscles with Osteocare. In Nigeria, we need calcium for our children through adult life and especially for our seniors to help prevent stunted growth, broken bones, and osteoporosis. Osteocare scientific formula, not just calcium for strong bones from Vitabiotics UK, available in pharmacies around you.
Success is like a big mansion. You only see the magnificent edifice, not the strong foundation that holds it. Likewise, in the world of e-payments, you only see transactions done and funds remitted. But who pioneered these financial technology solutions? Well, you knew it as Value Card, now Unified Payments, Nigeria's premier financial technology service provider. Yes, it starts here. Find out more at www.up-ng.com. Unified Payments, unifying businesses for people.
This taste na banger, this taste na creamy rich, this taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe Original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong, finish strong.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Hot Fact with Maryann Okon.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. You can join the conversation on our WhatsApp. It's 0809597585. Whether you're listening from outside of the country or you're listening from the country, you can join us on X. Use the hashtag Hard Facts. We're talking on Balogun Broad today, which is our business and economics show. about the IMF report on Nigeria's economy, poverty, and of course insecurity, which obviously had led to the presidency obviously hitting back at the IMF, accusing the IMF of trying to incite the people against the government. I'm guessing that Femi needs to be able to come speak to us about why they took this route. But then I'm talking to you as business persons, as people who live and work in the country, people who one way or the other are part of the economy, whether you are buying or selling or giving services. With all of the things that I've noted, the killings in the north, in the middle belt, the stealing of our commonwealth in the NNPC, broken pipelines, those who are stealing our gold in Zamfara. According to Dele Alake, they are powerful people in Nigeria, and I'm wondering who's bigger and most powerful than the commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The killings in the middle belt, which is the food basket of the nation, that's causing us to gradually tilt towards food shortage. Have you tried buying plantain? It's my favorite food. You can eat it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just give me eggs with it. One body in this lecky, one like this, one finger is 1,000. So 5 fingers is 5,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be 5,000. That's how bad it is. The other day I was out with my landlady and we were trying to buy sour sop, and a guy was carrying about 4 of it in a plate or on a tray. And guess how much he said the 4 was? 25,000. Right? Ridiculous. That's how bad it is becoming in terms of food. So you who's selling the food, are you breaking even? Are you even getting people to buy, or are they rotting in your hands? These are questions that we're asking. And with all that we're seeing and the lavishness of this government, is there stability in sight? On the radar, is there any, I'm looking for the right word to describe it, any hope, any guarantee that the economy might or will be on its feet a few months down the line? Let's talk. The phone lines are open. 0201 277 0993 0201 465 7190. I did want my guest to explain from an economist perspective, but of course, it also gives us room to talk to you, business owners, service providers, and we, the people who actually buy, from you, and those of us who need those services, and people who run companies and businesses and pay salaries. Is there any hope? Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hi, Maryann.
Yes.
See, if this government, I'm trying to be choosy and picky with my words now. If this government, if they were wise, they would simply take IMF's reports and work on it rather than buffet or chastise them for bringing out this report on our inflation and poverty rate. Maryann, what the IMF has said is just the glaring truth. Only that they are trying to tell the people that have been pushing forward propaganda that you can't keep up with this propaganda report you have been pushing. You have to change the narrative. So rather just simply fix the economy, period. What we are facing right now in this country, it is glaring to the blind. Even the deaf can hear, and the cripple can see that Nigeria is the headquarters of poverty without mincing words. As the country where rather than grow our yam seedlings, we make a porridge out of it, and then we come back to cry foul. The top elites, what are they doing? Gallivanting around the globe. Medical tourism. They are moving jet to jet, like you said in your highlights. At the end of the day, you cannot fix a simple refinery. You cannot fix nothing is working in the market. Maryann, there's no time I go to the market to go and buy foodstuffs. I come back to come and sit down and recalculate whether I lost money. You know how many drugs I don't throw away in this my pharmacy business? I have thrown that have expired because people are resorted to buying agbo They'll go and cut or buy agbo rather than go and buy malaria drugs because they cannot afford it. And the people come and tell you this is what is happening in your country, and rather than act on it, the next best thing you can do is to rubbish what they are saying.
Thank you very much.
We need their receipt. We don't get sense. I bet.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. 60 seconds, please, everyone. So you go straight to the point. Let me just quickly plug this in. Some days ago, the National Assembly had spoken out about the fact that the NNPC boss has continuously failed to appear before the Senate committee. 200 trillion naira is unaccounted for by the NNPC. And they have yet to appear before the Senate committee that's looking into it. And several other cases like that. No one's accountable for anything. Monies are missing. Don't forget, in 2023, 21 billion naira was put into Aso Rock Clinic. And Aisha Buhari at the time had told us, that's the wife of the president then, said that, the president and other presidents didn't need to go abroad for any treatment once that money was voted. Where's that money? Who's going to account for it? This is one of the things that IMF is highlighting, plugging these loopholes, accountability, and dealing with corruption. Is there any iota of hope that can be the order of the day anytime soon? Hello.
Good afternoon, Maryann.
Yes.
This is Malik speaking.
Go ahead. Turn off your radio, Malik.
It's off. It's off. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Maryann, do you know that Obalende Tikorodu is 2,500 for transport? To use the waterways both to VI, where our hotel is 3,500. My salary is 70,000 naira. Where will I eat from? Where will I eat from? You can't even buy vegetable in the market. You cannot. And most of the pomon you are buying are those imported dead horse or dead whatever with this insulin injection on it. And you think you are eating pomon? To tell you that the poverty rate alone is alarming, Maryann. And the government will tell you, we will solve before we enjoy. Who is there to come and enjoy the suffer? Or who is there to come and enjoy anything? To tell you that the government itself, no plan, and you're still spending money. Too many ministers. Every day you give excuses. Well,
all right.
Somebody is now. We hope. And we saw that the person will not bury with gold or silver.
Thank you very much, Malik, for calling. 60 seconds. I was waiting for you to land. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Maryann.
Yes.
Good evening, my dear sister. God bless you, my princess.
Go ahead.
Oh my God. If I look at these politicians and their affluence like they're living, while people are falling on the road and dying, I weep every minute of today. Look at, somebody was telling me that they no longer drive motorcycles. That is aircraft that all of them drive. And the people who go and stand under the rain, under the sun to vote for them, can't even see 3 square meals a day put on the table. How do we get to this point? Maybe posterity will judge them. Posterity will judge them because they know what they're doing.
While we wait for posterity to do its thing, how many of us are going to die? What do we do? How do we continue to exist?
That's what I'm asking. What do we do? How can we fight them? People that have guns, people that have axes.
Oh God!
People that have weapons upon weapons.
I'm not going to indulge this. But anyway,
where do we start fighting them? Yes.
Thank you very much. Your ballot, and I'm going to leave it at that. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, Miriam, how are you doing?
Good evening.
Jonathan is going here.
Go ahead, please.
Miriam, on Sunday, I went to Shibiri to buy original titles. That is from my wrist, maybe to my elbow or halfway. It's not that. Just one. is 3,000 naira. One.
That you can cut into maybe just 3 or 4.
I think I got 4 out of it. Very small pieces. I begged the original. If you know Titus, he has fake, he has original.
Yeah, well, it's not fake. All fishes are fish. It's just that it's the one you're used to and a different species.
Now, I'm particularly angry with this leadership because even Buhari was still better. This particular leadership, when it came on board, these are the things that he's supposed to first unravel before he transferred the hardship to us. What did he do first? He first transferred the hardship to us and tell us that we should calm down, we should give him time. At the point, he's not even saying anything. You know Buhari was even managing the FX. He asked up till today. And that's why I'm particularly, and just like that woman said, austerity will judge all of them. Even the burial they just do is a continuous slap on ordinary people.
Okay, all right.
Even in their dead.
Thank you very much for calling. Thank you for calling. I do appreciate it. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hi, Maryann. This is Kenny. How are you?
I'm good, Kenny. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, what I just want to say is that resolving the matter, the issue in Nigeria, is very easy. If we go through a tactical approach, we can do many things concurrently. The ecological fund that we have, they need to invest it into the seaports, dredge the waterways, the estuaries, the tributaries, and create a flow of water so that these flood disasters will not happen again. By so doing, they're also creating employment and expanding our economy. We reference to, all these expenditures in the National Assembly. They need to roll back on all those things. They are very, very ostentatious lifestyles needs to cut down. After all, what his name said that they are sacrificing, that they didn't come to politics to make money, so they put their money where their mouth is. Also, we reference to these external trips. They need to invest in the hospitals. They need to make sure that authentic drugs are made available. Medical facilities should be up and running. Medical doctors should be well remunerated.
All right.
Medical staff and personnel. All right. It's very easy.
Okay.
You should just do it. Thank you.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think that Nigeria is a breeding ground for thick people. And when I use the word thick, I mean people who are not smart. But I don't necessarily know if it's on purpose, because day in, day out, on television, on radio, even on the pages of newspapers, there are several stakeholders, key stakeholders, people who have served within and without on economic teams, who have expertise on how to handle the economy and deal with certain issues, continuously make known their ideas, solutions that they think can be preferred to our economic problems, and the things that cause or lead to the aftermath, which is a high inflation, the high cost of living, the broken economy that we have, the terrible healthcare system, the bad road networks, the insecurity and the terrorism. So the question is, do they not listen, or do they just do it on purpose because, let them say whatever they like, we'll do what we want to do. But at the expense of Nigerians, right? How many more people have to die for them to deal with the insecurity? How many people have to die for them to deal with the fake drugs situation and policing? How many people have to die for us to develop agriculture? They always pay lip service. Or we want to divest the economy. We're divesting the economy, but everybody goes back to the oil sector, cap in hand. Oh, we're going to do this so to cleaning up in Ogoni. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and then there's a meeting with the Ogoni leaders. And I'm going to give you a university. All in a bid to start re-drilling oil in a place where You've not even cleaned up the oil that has spilled in those areas. They can't go to their farms, they can't fish, everything contaminated. Insensitivity side by side, some ambitious goal that, as far as I'm concerned, does not benefit us, the people. So how are we certain that there is an end in sight if we have leaders who do not listen, who want to do what they think is right, and have never sat with us to say, what exactly do you want? How do you solve problems that you don't know the root cause of? Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening, Maryann. It's Boyesen calling from Afromedia.
Go ahead.
Yes, I had one of your callers ask you, what do we do? Because it is more than difficult. We are finding it more than difficult. Everybody's the person asks you, what do we do? And you say, ballot, through your ballot. Maryann, but it's a long time. You should have known this now. That the ballot, what did they promise us in 2023?
Boyesen, you can wax lyrical as much as you want and say, oh, our vote will not count. That's your business. Choose not to go out and vote in the next election. That's your problem.
But then, hello?
That is your problem.
Okay, it's all right.
Deciding not to vote and staying at home. I don't know how it solves your problem. I don't know how it solves your problem.
But we've told you time without number that this government is just government of propaganda. They keep on deceiving us. And when we say it looks as if we are just joking. The chicken has come to roost now. You see, everybody is now shouting. So what do we do? That's still the question.
All right.
I still keep on asking, just like the other caller. What do we do now? But when you say it's the ballot, my dear sister, I still disagree with you because they failed us.
You have a right. And you have a right to. Absolutely, you have a right to. 0201-277-0993. That's the number to call. 0201-465-7190. Note, there is no economic advisor on the cabinet of the Tinubu administration. So, these decisions that they're taking, who's informing them? And it's not that we're bereft of smart and intelligent people to point us in the right direction. So why have they chosen not to? Hello.
Good evening, Maryann.
Good evening.
This is Pastor Ladipo calling from Orilego.
Go ahead.
What do we do? That is the question. There are many things we can do. One of the things I believe we can do quickly as citizens is we should start raising an alarm when we see people who were like almost nothing when they were coming into office. And within 6 months, 1 year, they have become billionaire overnight. We should start raising an alarm, irrespective whether they are here or not. You see, in this
who are we directing the alarm to? Because it has to be targeted.
When we see direct the alarm to the necessary agencies, if they like, let them listen or not. We'll keep, just like we keep going out to queue, to vote. The same thing we should keep doing. Because let me tell you something, Maryann. Somebody, look at Tokwe Fashua. When that guy was contesting for presidency, brilliant mind. Suddenly he came into this government overnight. He just thought of something else. You see, we have a lot of people who are the aim of affairs and they shut them down.
Okay.
So also the media should also blow up some of these things that they try to cover.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pastor Ladipo, for calling. I'm just cutting you short because of time. I want to take some calls. Godfrey's calling us from England. Hello, Godfrey. Can you hear me? Godfrey, can you hear me? That call is stuck. I'm so sorry, Godfrey. You have to call me back again. I want to hear your thoughts, okay? Keep the thoughts coming in. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube. Post your comments. And I'm asking business owners, business persons, everybody, whatever it is that you do for a living, how are you coping? Please do not call me with your Nigerian number on WhatsApp. I will not take it. Only the calls on WhatsApp are only for those who are calling from outside of the country. Let's talk, guys. We're looking at the IMF report on inflation and poverty. The government has hit back at IMF and said that they're trying to pitch the people against them. But then I've also given you the key points that have been raised by the IMF and what Nigeria's government is supposed to be looking at in dealing with it. But let me read some messages on WhatsApp because our time is fast spent. Someone here says, as long as I live, I will always vote. The last election, I voted. This is my second time of voting. My votes will count or not. I will still continue to vote. Nobody will use my ballot paper on my behalf. If I'm failing to use my ballot paper, it means another person will use it on my behalf. Okay. Thank you very much for your message. Someone here says, I laughed when you and your landlady priced plantain for. No, it wasn't plantain. It was sour soup. It's not even plantain. Plantain. One finger is 1,000. He said, rather than take a walk to Ondo States or even Benin to get a cheap and affordable one there, wisdom no go kill us. And they make it really. So I will not pay transport. I will not check to go and buy. Get serious, man. Please call me back, Godfrey. I would like to take your call. This one says, Nigeria know they tired to complain on radio. I'm not a fan of any political party. The people in society are the primary cause of inflation in Nigeria. They are the transporters and landlords. Think of what you can do for your society by reducing high cost of living. Start from there. Ahmed from along the road. Ahmed, interesting. The landlords are coming for you. Lansky here says, Maryann, what if you don't see a candidate that can give you leadership that you want? What do? You just vote blindly? This is how they handed us a country with questioning. We just put the country on our head and start going without probing or interrogating what they handed to us. I think the idea of just vote, whether the people are voting are worth it or not. I don't think anybody's telling you to vote if they put a goat on it, like what's his name? El Rufai said that even if they put a goat on the ballot because of Buhari, people were going to vote for the APC. Now that's on you. That's not on anybody else. But I want us to come away from this conversation thinking about the fact that if we don't help ourselves by beginning to grab hold of our leaders, whether we voted them in or not, they're there as our leaders. If we do not begin to hold them accountable, hold their foot to the fire, nothing is going to change. They're banking on the fact that you will just complain on the radio and go back to buying Gary expensive because there's nothing you can do. Shock them. My name is Maryann Okon. I want to thank you all for being part of the conversation today. Tomorrow we're back. We'll be talking about what's happening in Cameroon as Paul Biya wants to run for an 8th term. And of course, we'll be talking about the hegemony of Nigerian civil service on the Big Hard Facts. My name is Maryann Okon. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, MIMIEYO. Bye-bye, Lagos.
And information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't...
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens.